to admit I'm always sad anytime that I hear about a company that I've been familiar with and have gotten to experience countless games from for years and years and years. I mean, console generation after console generation. That a company like that is potentially going to go under. Or end up getting swallowed up into another company, which it really is the better option of the two, because I wouldn't want to see it just go away in general. But the said company in this particular instance is Majesco. And the thing is, Majesco, for the most part, to be honest, I haven't heard much of shit about what they've been doing. And a lot of times, it's easy to forget that the company's around because they haven't had a whole ton of releases, let alone like big-time, big-budget AAA releases. They've kind of been relegated to going releasing more niche games or just publishing pre-existing games, you know, to get them out onto different platforms. I know that recently they put out Costume Quest 2, which I have to go and get that game. I actually really like the first one. But I did get one of their games recently, and this was a pain in the ass to get. And I don't know why, but apparently it's made in limited numbers. But it's Shadow Warrior. And Shadow Warrior was something I wanted to get the entire time. Like, if you follow me on Twitter, I've talked about it quite a few times while on there. But I always wanted to play the original because it was made by guys who did Duke Nukem. And it was like, Duke Nukem with a fucking, like, ninja sword and shit. And it was going around fucking everything up. Has all the, you know, one-liners and shit. And it's just meant to have, like, tons of crude humor and stuff. And that one came out and I was just like, fuck yeah! And then the idea that if it wasn't for that company, I probably wouldn't be playing that right now, because I haven't ever had the chance to go and pick it up on PC. But that's what bums me out, is when these companies go away, you know, they're trying to get Gone Home onto consoles, which I played that on PC already. You know, like I said, Costume Quest, which was shown up on consoles. Shadow Warrior, for example, they also put out the Cooking Mama games, and there's some other shit that they make. But this always saddens me when those kind of publishers end up going away, because I personally have this big-time preference towards niche titles, the really weird ones that a lot of people just don't pay attention to. And it's, you know, somebody might be like, oh, hipster mentality, but there's a lot of games like that that I just love to death. And, you know, despite the fact that they get overlooked and stuff, and if it isn't for these kind of companies, we don't end up having a lot of access to them. You know, and those developers who are making them, they have a lot of trouble trying to get them out there, especially in a physical format. You know, because you don't have a publisher that's willing to go and back it and put their money into it to go and make back on their investment into the game. And that's the thing, I'm just like, fuck man, I don't want to see this happen. And like I said, that this is a company that I've known throughout, since I started gaming, as a matter of fact. You know, they've been around for a very, very long time. But apparently they're on hard times as it is. Hopefully they end up pulling through right now. I know that they're apparently down by like a couple $100 million by comparison. I don't know what their future forecasts are going to be, but hopefully they end up pulling through. I know that they've had recent layoffs, and anytime that there's a company with layoffs, a lot of people always assume, you know, gloom and doom, all things go boom in Dexter's lab. Anyway, but they always assume doom. You know, this is going to be the worst case scenario for the company, and that's not always the case, because a lot of companies end up going through restructuring, or they end up looking at things kind of like, well, we don't actually need these departments, and we don't need this, and we don't need this, so we're just going to go and save ourselves a whole bunch of money, or we're going to relocate those people into different departments and better utilize their talents. But that unfortunately isn't one of the cases here. This is just we're trying to make ends meet so that we can continue on into 2015 and 2016. So they apparently do have future games on the horizon. I'm just hoping that they end up doing well. At the very least, look at it like this. I've recommended at least 2 games from the company to all of you out there. Costume Quest is a really good game. It's one of those just, like, kiddie-like RPGs, but it's, I don't know, it's fun. I like it. A little turn-based RPG that, you know, anybody can pick up and play is awesome. So the second one's supposed to have, like, tons more costumes and all this other shit. And Shadow Warrior is the shit. Like, I know a lot of people get burnt out on first-person shooters, but this isn't like, you know, Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. This is like a balls-to-the-wall first-person shooter, you know, the likes of something like Singularity or Bulletstorm or, you know, other first-person shooters that have all of this character and are unique and very different, and unfortunately severely overlooked, which, you know, it's the sad course of things, but what the fuck can you do? But anyway, I'm hoping that you pull through. So Majesco, here's to you. Just do well. If not, I hope that a good company comes along and at least does something with all of the talent there, because I hate hearing that anybody ends up losing their job, because I've been in that situation where I've been laid off before, and I know many people watching this have probably been in that position or known people, so it sucks. And you also don't want to see a company like this that has actually put out good products to go away because, well, we need it. We need more games, damn it. But anyhow, so I'll go and conclude this video. Like always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on.